Hello everybody, welcome back to Space Pickle Designs. Today I have a special video for you. I'm going to walk you through my design process when it comes to art pieces and not just everyday jewelry. So as many of you know, I am active duty military, and the Air Force specifically is holding an Air Force art contest, and the entries are due by the end of April. And I am going to enter. This is the first time I'm going to enter. Active duty of any service can apply or like enter the Air Force contest. So that's what I'm going to do. So the whole thing is, like, when I started out making jewelry, it was mainly just art pieces and not just pieces to wear on a day-to-day basis. So here are just a couple examples. This one is a multimedia, and this is like a dragon eye necklace, and everything's handmade on it. And that's one of the stipulations to the contest. There's no theme, but everything has to be handmade. And I'm going to be entering the Adult Accomplished category. And these little video series will serve as proof of originality, just in case they require that. That's in the rules. It did say that if they ask for proof, you must be able to provide it. So this one, this guy took a while, but it was because I hand sculpted the entire dragon eye here, and I used that awesome crystal. But this was like 20 coats of paint on this, and then the scales. And so this is just one example. Another example, I have another polymer clay piece here, another crystal, and it's got bead embroidery again, nicely finished on the back, and another chain necklace portion here. And then just for bead embroidery alone, I just made a little pattern. This is a little eye here, and these are recycled beads that I used. Preciosa crystal in the Padpracha color, and as you can see, like, the pupil is raised there, but that was a Swarovski bead in the middle. And then I just used those salvaged beads in this beaded chain here, and I made the toggle myself. So I love making these art pieces, and for this contest, it is an art contest. So all that talk about, you know, only do like simple jewelry, we're gonna throw that out the window, because if there's any time to do a crazy one-off piece, it would be now. So I'm just gonna take you through what I'm thinking of, and feel free to jump in the comments and tell me your thoughts and opinions. So when I think of making an art piece, I usually like to have a theme. I feel that I get overwhelmed with too much choice, and this art contest actually started in March, and it took me a while to come up with an idea just because there was no constraint to what it could be. So I just thought, like, let's just play around the seasons here. It's April, and I'm looking forward to the spring flowers, and I'm also getting into French beading techniques for flowers and stuff. So I thought I would incorporate pretty much every single technique that I can in this piece, and I'm going to do like a spring wildflowers necklace set, and I might make some earrings, maybe not though, just depending on how much time I'm going to put into this one. So I'm going to start out, I really want the base to be a green, and I want to bead embroider on it to where it almost looks like moth, or not moth, moss. And the way that I do that is I'm going to do it with bead embroidery. And this is kind of like the technique. I'll zoom in. These are different colors, but this is kind of like the technique that I'm going to use. Variations of length on the bead embroidery themselves. I can actually use this as the center of a flower too if I wanted to, which is what this one was going to be. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's really fun and soothing once you get going with it. But I'm going to start with a green base. The only problem I'm running into is that this is the biggest piece of ultra suede that I have in green, and this is only like a 7-inch piece. So I think I need it to be a little bit more, because this is going to be like a giant art piece, right? And I want to have a lot of like canvas area for flowers. So I'm going to probably have to buy a piece of like fake suede from Joann's and just use that. So I'm actually gonna have to buy a piece of fabric to put on the back. So as you can see in all of these other pieces, I put that ultra suede on the back just to finish it off. And it just gives it a nice, more professional look. So I'm gonna start with felt. And I'm gonna probably find either a green felt or I'll take a white and I'll just dye it green and use that as the base. But you're not gonna see, so you're not gonna see the color of the felt because look how close the beads are. You can't even, like even if I'm bending the beads, you're really not able to see it. So it really doesn't matter. This is just craft felt. It really doesn't matter, you know, what kind of backing that you're using. It doesn't need to be super stiff because when we sandwich it on the back of this ultra suede, I'm gonna coat it in a giant layer of E6000 or like similar glue, and after that it'll make it like a solid piece that's not gonna be moving anywhere. So I'm just gonna leave this out here for the color so you can see what kind of color I'm going for. For the mossy texture, we're gonna use like a mixture. I really like these green Picasso, browns, maybe some bronze in there, and also this light green if I can find it. I really like a mixture of these and just make a color variation throughout. So these are 11-Os. I tend to like using 11-Os. I will scatter in some bigger and smaller beads here and there, but you can create so much texture with just the 11-Os alone that I don't really think you need a lot of different types of beads as long as you know how to use them. So this is gonna be our base here. We might even put some little black specks in there for like a darker dirt color throughout. So we got our greens covered. And then we're gonna start doing, I want to do like a wild flower like color palette. So we're definitely gonna have to bring in, I need some yellow beads. So I've gone through my stash and I've realized like I have no yellow beads. Is that weird? I have one tube of yellow beads that I'm almost done with, and I'll show you what I've been doing with those. But I'm ordering some of those yellow beads today, but this will be kind of like the color palette that we're going to. So we got some like daisy color, even like dogwood flowers we could put in there. And look at these. I love this like little whisper of a purple here. And then like we need some jewel tones in here as well to balance out some of those pastel colors. So this is kind of like the palette that I'm gonna go for. I'm also going to order some 3mm white pearls because I'm gonna use those as baby's breath. And you'll see I'm gonna use it with wire. And this is just like the size. I could sprinkle some of these in too. These are like a light pink. These are like, I think it's like a pink, I forget what it's called, the Pink Delight from Swarovski. I also have some of these Picasso ones that I could use, but I think I want to stick kind of like with a white, just a classic white, and bring that throughout. I'm going to use gold findings with this, as well as for the baby's breath stems, I'm going to use this Soft Flex green color, I think, just so it kind of mimics the stem color. So with that, I'm definitely going to be making, I think, more of the chunkier braided like crystal chain here. And I'm going to do my own toggle as well, just because I want everything to be handmade because it's an art contest. So yeah, that's about it. I do need to gather some supplies. But the way that I'm going to do bead embroidered flowers. I'm going to do a French beading flowers. And if you haven't seen French beading, here's just like an example of a petal. And you can, so look, this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. And you can make a bunch of these, and then you have like a more three-dimensional piece here. And the way that you put them together with the wire and then put them on the piece is going to make it more three-dimensional, which is what I'm going for. I really don't want to do this type of, this looks like candy corn anyway, like this was a fail, but I don't want to do this type of flat bead embroidery like you see on this one. This one's pretty flat. I'm not really interested in doing that. I want this to be a very three-dimensional pop off the chest piece. So I'm definitely going to be making a lot of these petals and like putting them together, freeform. And the way that I'm going to do this is that felt that we're going to be beading onto, I'm going to feed these tail wires down into there and then tie them all the way on the back. You'll see, I'll make more videos, but I'm going to tie these through the back of the piece and then glue them down before I put these fake suede on there. So it'll be very secure. But I'm looking forward to making like all these flowers in all these different colors, and I'll be sure to take you on the ride with me. So let me know down below what you think and if you have any ideas, and I'd love to hear from you. I hope you all are having a fun and safe weekend, and until I see you in the next one, stay safe.